employer or anyone else. He especially doesn't speak for Liz unless she says so.
Hi, this is Jazz Shaw. Be sure to join Doug Mataconis and me at 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays for Glitter Nerds Radio, here on Vigilant Liberty Radio. It's not as much about the politics as the people behind the politics. That's Glitter Nerds Radio, Thursdays at 9 Eastern on Vigilant Liberty Radio.
Hi, this is Jason Dibbler, co-host of Q with a View, heard every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on FTR Radio. Right now, FTR needs your help in making the jump into the 21st century through some long-needed equipment upgrades. This is where you, the great and loyal listeners of Great Conservative Talk Radio, can really lend a hand. Visit GoFundMe.com/helpupgradeFTR right now. Your assistance, no matter how small, will help to ensure that FTR can continue to offer some of the best conservative radio on the interwebs. Your donation of $50 gets you up to 60 seconds of airtime on FTR radio 4 times. For $100, your ad will run 10 times, or if you don't want to run an ad, you can have 30 minutes of FTR airtime to talk about anything you want. There are other thank yous for other levels of giving as well, but those are some pretty great offers. We hope you'll consider making a small donation to help keep quality conservative talk radio alive and thriving on the internet. Visit GoFundMe.com/helpupgradeFTR today. Thank you.
This is Ed Morrissey of HotAir.com, and you're listening to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
And back here on Saturday Night Cigar Lounge, here on Vigilant Liberty Radio, I'm your host, Taylor Millard. Thank you very much for being here. Coming up in the next hour, Dustin Hoyt from America Our Way, that you can hear on Thursday nights on Vigilant Liberty Radio, is going to be joining us. We're going to be discussing what exactly happened in New York, the grand jury decision there, as well as debt and whatever else Dustin wants to talk about. Partially because he had some tech issues on Thursday, so he had a shorter show. So I figure it'd be nice to let him kind of slide in here and give his opinion on things. He's a smart guy, so I'm looking forward to that coming up next hour. So, all right, this Rolling Stone thing is bugging me. And for those who don't know what's going on, last month, Rolling Stone put out an article called "A Rape on Campus," which described, this is what they said, it described the brutal rape of a woman named Jackie at the University of Virginia and the university's failure to respond to this alleged assault, and the school's troubling history of indifference to many other instances of alleged sexual assault. Now, yesterday, December 5th, Friday, Rolling Stone put out a note to our readers by managing editor Will Dana. And in case you're wondering where I got the first couple of sentences describing what the story was about, well, it's from their note. This is what they said here, in kind of continuing on in their letter that they put out. The story generated worldwide headlines and much soul-searching at UVA. University President Teresa Sullivan promised a full investigation and also to examine the way the school responds to sexual assault allegations. Because of the sensitive nature of Jackie's story, we decided to honor her request not to contact the man she claimed orchestrated the attack on her, nor any of the men she claimed participated in it, for fear of retaliation against her. All right, now, by now, I'm ready just to slam my head into my desk until I'm knocked unconscious, because that's shoddy journalism. It really is. In reality, what they should have done is they should have contacted these person, or they should have contacted the police and tried to figure out, hey, was something put in here? Why wasn't an investigation done? I mean, what I find so funny is the fact that when you look at this letter, the way that they put it together, the way Rolling Stone put it together, is they basically pat themselves on the back by saying, hey, look at what we did. And then at the very end, they say this. In the face of new information, there now appears to be discrepancies in Jackie's account, and we have come to the conclusion that our trust in her was misplaced. We were trying to be sensitive to the unfair shame and humiliation many women feel after a sexual assault, and now regret the decision to not contact the alleged assaulters to get their account. We are taking this seriously and apologize to anyone who was affected by the story. Well, it's very nice that they apologize, but again, as I said earlier, I love how they put together this entire thing of, well, it generated all this stuff and all this conversations. It's great, and oh yeah, we shouldn't have trusted Jackie. It's a major problem. Fishy in the chat room just says that it pisses her off, and honestly, it makes me mad too. I'm actually pretty mad about this too, because it's laziness. And I'm stealing a line from Fishy again, who said that it's journalistic laziness, but it is journalistic laziness. The fact that somebody didn't bother to go out and investigate this further. I mean, what I thought that journalists and news reporters were supposed to do, and maybe I'm wrong here, but this is, again, what I thought, is that they're supposed to go out and get all the information. You're supposed to get both sides of a story. And the other thing that really made me want to slam my head into the wall until I was knocked unconscious was a piece put out by Zerlina Maxwell in the Washington Post, which came out this morning, where she basically said that this is what the title says. No matter what, we should automatically believe rape claims. We should automatically believe rape claims. That's what she says there. Now, the line that really, the lines here that really makes me kind of get angry is this. This is what we mean in America when we say someone is innocent until proven guilty. After all, look at what happened to the Duke lacrosse players. And I'd like to add the Duke lacrosse coach. In important ways, this is wrong. We should believe, as a matter of default, what an accuser says. Ultimately, the costs of wrongfully disbelieving a survivor far outweigh the costs of calling someone a rapist. Even if Jackie fabricated her account, UVA should have taken her word for it during the period while they endeavored to prove or disprove the accusation. This is not a legal argument about what standards we should use in the courts. It's a moral one about what happens outside, italicized, the legal system. The accused would have a rough period. He might be suspended from his job. Friends might defend him on Facebook. In the case of Bill Cosby, we might have to stop watching his show, consuming his books, or buying tickets to his traveling stand-up routine. But false accusations are exceedingly rare, and errors can be undone by an investigation that clears the accused, especially if done quickly. The cost of disbelieving women, on the other hand, is far steeper. It signals that the women don't matter and that they are disposable, not only to the frat boys and Bill Cosby, but to us. They face a set of special problems in having their say. All right. So, this is the way I look at this. This is the way I look at this. And we do have breaking news coming up that I will get to in just 1 second. Just 1 second. Actually, no. We're going to go to the breaking news now. For those who are paying attention, Bill Cassidy has just beaten Mary Landrieu in Louisiana with 10 of the 4,018 precincts reporting in. Bill Cassidy has a 64.97 to 35.03 lead over Mary Landrieu. So there you go. Your next senator is going to be Bill Cassidy. And I just got a text message from someone saying that I was using AP. No, I was actually using Ace of Spades Decision Desk. I was using Ace of Spades Decision Desk. That's where I got my info from. You can find them at dd.aoshq.com. That is DD standing for Decision Desk. .aoshq, Ace of Spades HQ.com. So the person who accused me of using AP, you know who you are. And, no, I did not use AP. So hush. All right. So now let's go back to the serious matters. And Felicia Cravens is basically saying everything that I want to say, and probably better than I ever could in the chat. You don't get to publicly accuse someone and not go through the legal process, and that's true. That's very true. You can't do that. One of the things that happened at UT, at the University of Texas, was there were 2 football players who were accused of rape, but they didn't get kicked off the team or suspended until after they were arrested. And that was because the woman who was allegedly raped she went to the cops. And the cops proceeded to arrest the guys involved in it, and they were subsequently tossed off the team. In Texas, we had a guy at TCU. We had a guy who got separated from the university because he got into a domestic incident. But they didn't kick him off the team until the domestic incident happened. And I think, with stuff like this, and it's so tough to get into this because I understand that in certain situations you have, we've seen the Law and Order episode, the Law and Order SVU episode on it, where, hey, the campus police, covered up something because they investigated it, or they may have covered up something because they investigated it. So I understand, but in that situation, that's where you go to the police. You go to the cops, not the campus cops. You go to the actual cops. And yeah, sometimes you'll get stupid stuff. I remember I saw something was going on. Actually, no, it was UNT police that happened. I went to an ex-girlfriend of mine, her car once, this was like 10 years ago, ex-girlfriend of mine, her car stalled out on campus. And so, or just right off campus. So, in trying to get her help, it was at a gas station that was like, you could see the gas station from UNT police headquarters. So I went to the UNT cops and I